It's cloud covered in Toronto, but the roof is open as the Red Sox and Toronto Blue Jays play Game 1 of a 4-game series. Hi again, everybody. I'm Don Orsillo, as always, joined by Jerry Remy. Welcome to Red Sox baseball. Well, the Red Sox find themselves back on the road again. 4 here in Toronto and 3 in Tampa Bay. And Jerry, this season, the road has been a very good place for the Red Sox.
It has been a very good place. They played excellent baseball on the road. 42 wins. That ties them with the Philadelphia Phillies for the most road wins in all of baseball. And you can see the record of 42 and 26. They've scored 93 runs. But the pitching has really been good. The 3.57 ERA. Holding the opponents to a 227 batting average and 7 shutouts. Now, the Red Sox are going to have to continue this good play on the road because they have this road trip, as you mentioned, Don, where we go through Toronto and Tampa Bay, and then they finish up in a road trip where they go to New York and Baltimore. So a lot of road games left for the Red Sox in these final 3 weeks of the season. They want to continue this good play on the road. It's been excellent all year long for them.
Today they face Henderson Alvarez for the first time. Well, the Red Sox will send Josh Beckett to the hill in search of win number 13. He's 12-5. The first pitch is coming up next. Kia, AT&T, New England Subaru dealers, Dunkin' Donuts, and by Southwest Airlines. Welcome back to the Rogers Center as the Red Sox and Toronto Blue Jays get ready to begin a 4-game series. Red Sox beginning the day a game and a half back of the New York Yankees in the American League East as the Red Sox start this road trip. 4 here in Toronto, 3 in Tampa Bay before returning home to Fenway Park. Well, Heidi Watney had a chance to catch up with the manager, Terry Francona, a little while ago. Heidi?
We've got a lot of news on this Labor Day, early Monday. We'll start with the call-ups. You called up 3 players. Can you give the reasons why?
Ryan LeVarnway's back, gives us our third catcher, guy that can hit and get some work with Gary Tuck, which I think is important. Kyle Weiland, we'll put him in the bullpen today just to give us a little bit of insurance out there. And we may have a start on Friday. We're going to bump Bedard just to give him one start away to let that knee, see if we can get that knee back to where he feels a little bit better about himself. We may need a starter on that day. We may not. We'll see how Beckett and the guys come through these next couple days. And then we called up Nate Spears, a kid that I think the whole staff fell in love with this spring. He's the ultimate, plays everywhere. Coaches love him. He gives you everything he has and had a great spring. And he gives us a little bit of insurance all over the field. So it just seemed like a kind of a common sense thing to do.
You mentioned skipping Bedard in his next start. You also said you might be pushing Beckett back a little bit. Can you just talk about the rotation coming up?
Well, we had talked to the pitchers this past week about going forward the next couple of weeks and trying to buy him an extra day wherever we could. And so, having the extra starter was easy. Putting Wake in on Wednesday made it easy. Now that Bedard's not pitching, we could still keep our pitchers right in line, and it would be okay. But we do want to talk to him about it because there's a reason we bump him back a day. And if it's the right thing to do, we want to continue to do that.
You also had some news on Bobby Jenks today. It looks like he's pretty much going to be done for the season.
Yeah, I think so. I think over the weekend he gave it the last shot, and it just wasn't going to be. So he stayed back. He's going to go see Dr. Wood, I believe, Wednesday when Dr. Wood gets back in town and kind of see where to go from there. But I don't think you're going to see him pitch.
All right, thanks, Tito.
Well, Jerry, I think the most startling news perhaps today is the fact that Bedard is going to be backed off at least for one start. We've seen him kind of hobbling around, and it did appear that that knee was a problem. He spent so much time on the DL, and it just seems like it is not better.
Now, you could tell in his last start, Don, that he was having some difficulties pushing off that knee, and I saw him walking to the bus yesterday, and he had a pretty good limp as he was heading up here to Toronto. So there comes at really no surprise to me that he's going to miss a start, and we'll see what happens with it. Whether it gets better for him, stays the same. He had that problem earlier this season, but that's not good news for the Red Sox.
So he will miss the start. Probably see Kyle Weiland, as Terry Francona said, on Friday, as the Toronto Blue Jays take the field for Game 1 of the series. Well, as they do, let's check out the visiting starting lineup for the Red Sox, brought to you by New England Chevy Dealers. Jacoby Ellsbury leading it off in center field with Dustin Pedroia at second base. Adrian Gonzalez at first base bats third. David Ortiz, the DH, with Kevin Youkilis at third base. Carl Crawford is in left, he bats sixth. Josh Reddick back in there for the Red Sox in right field, bats seventh. Jason Varitek doing the catching, batting eighth. And Marcos Scudero at shortstop, bats ninth. And for the first time, the Red Sox will see Henderson Alvarez It's a start today for the Jays. His 6th start. He is 1-2. 3.52 earned run average, 21 strikeouts to 5 walks. And opponents hitting at .237 against him. Made his major league debut on the 10th of August, but last time out beat the Orioles. Shut him out. 8 shutout innings, giving up just 3 hits. He struck out 5 and has been very impressive so far in his young major league career.
The defense today for the Toronto Blue Jays, they are 10th in the American League, 93 errors on the season. Brett Laurie will be at third base. Mike McCoy, the shortstop. Kelly Johnson at second, and Adam Lynn, the first baseman. Left to right, Eric Thames, Dwayne Wise, and Jose Batista, and Jose Molina doing the catching for Alvarez.
The crowd settling in here on this Labor Day weekend and Labor Day in Toronto as the Red Sox and Blue Jays get ready. And where available, this telecast can be heard in Spanish by selecting the SAP button on your television remote. Enjoy the game.
Buenas tardes, amigos.
Well, the roof is open to start action today. 66 degrees in Toronto. Breeze in from center field at 14 miles an hour. It is cloud covered to begin this game here today. Jacoby Ellsbury in on the left side to get it started against Henderson Alvarez. Alvarez ready with the first pitch of the game. And it's in there for strike 1.
Buzzing fastball at 95 miles an hour right out of the chute from Alvarez.
Ellsbury at .312, 24 home runs, 85 runs batted in. Alvarez, who grew up idolizing Felix Hernandez, has had the chance to meet his idol for the first time in this last road trip for the Blue Jays as they went to Seattle, and has really worked hard on his slider. As pitch in there for a strike, and it's quickly 1-2. Blue Jays are very excited about Henderson Alvarez, and today the Red Sox will get their first look at Alvarez. In the air to center field, Dwayne Wise coming in, and he puts it away for out number 1. Ellsbury retired, and it brings up Dustin Pedroia. Dustin at .307 with 18 homers and 77 runs batted in. He's 2 for 10 in the series against Texas. It's in there for strike 1.
There'll be a little movement on that fastball from Alvarez that'll tail back in on right-handed hitters.
Roy reaching out, fouling it off to the right, now to play. First look at his slider is it is 0-2 now to Dustin Pedroia. Pedroia protecting the plate, fouls it off down the right field line, out of play. The Red Sox dropping game yesterday to the Texas Rangers 11-4 at Fenway Park, and they end up losing the season series to Texas 4-6 against the Rangers during the regular season. 3rd straight year the Rangers have won the regular season series. Red Sox ended up 4-5 on the homestand. They have as many wins on the road as they do at home. 42 wins at home, 42 on the road. As the fly ball to short center, Dwayne Wise is in, and there's 2 down in the first inning.
Now, so far we've seen all fastballs and 1 slider from Alvarez here in the first inning.
The Blue Jays going into a shift for Adrian Gonzalez. They move the 3rd baseman to the right side. Brett Laurie heading over. He will head into short right field. And they leave Mike McCoy, the shortstop, alone on the left side.
And that only takes 1 man out of position. That's the 3rd baseman, Laurie, who goes out into short right field.
Swing and a miss out after the fastball for strike 1. Adrian Gonzalez leading the majors with his .340 batting average to start the day. Leads the majors in hits with 188. As Alvarez misses inside, and it's 1-1.
Tries a changeup that time that stays high up and out of the strike zone. So we've seen the fastball, the slider, and the changeup now from Alvarez.
Two-one is hit to left. Thames going back, and he makes the catch. Took it away from him, and he makes the grab on the warning track. Beckett will be taking the hill, where the Blue Jays come to bat. For the first inning, let's take a look at the Blue Jays starting nine. Mike McCoy is at shortstop, leading it off. Eric Thames in left field. Jose Bautista in right field with Adam Lind at first base. Edwin Encarnacion is the DH today with Kelly Johnson at second base. Brett Laurie is at third base, batting seventh. Jose Molina does the catching, he bats eighth. And Dwayne Wise is in center field, he bats ninth. The starting pitcher is brought to you by McDonald's, and Josh Beckett is on the hill for his 27th start of the year. 12-5 with a 2.54 earned run average. He's logged 170 innings, has 149 strikeouts, and opponents hitting at .202 against Beckett. Last outing, a win against the Yankees. 7 innings, giving up 5 runs. 4 of them were earned. He struck out 8 as he defeated the New York Yankees, and now ready to take on the Blue Jays as Mike McCoy stands in on the right side. And take strike one. McCoy at .214 with a home run and 5 runs batted in. On the ground, a foul ball. Wow, very close. Went down that third base line, but ball fouled by Mike Easterbrook, third base umpire.
Wasn't quite sure at first what he was going to call. That ball very close to that third base bag. He looks and then makes that foul call. Heading out of the direction of the baseball first, and then makes the foul call as it goes down that third base line.
Mike McCoy making his 32nd start of the year. We saw him pitch in a game off the bench earlier this season, back on June 11th, pitching a scoreless 9th inning. 5th position player in Toronto history to pitch in a game, and finished up a game against the Red Sox earlier this season. Curveball is line foul down the right field line, out of play, and it hangs at 1-2.
And right out of the chute, we see Jason Varitek using a variety of signs behind home plate. Of course, Toronto has been accused of stealing signs here at home. Their home number is so much better than on the road. And we see Varitek going to multiple signs, even with nobody at second base.
Red Sox not taking any chances. The 1-2 pitch. Lined into right center field. Base hit for McCoy as Reddick cuts it off. Leadoff single from Mike McCoy.
Looks like McCoy gets a cut fastball here from Beckett away. And takes it toward the end of the bat to the opposite field for the base hit.
The lead runner on as Eric Thames stands in. 277, 9 home runs, and 30 runs batted in.
McCoy at first base, 7 steals on the season. He's been caught twice. Blue Jays a much more aggressive club this year under John Farrell as far as running the bases.
John Farrell has been out for the last 14 days as he has been battling pneumonia, but back here with the club. They returned from a road trip last night. Was in New York and now back for a homestand, and so is John Farrell, and feeling much better. First year, of course, at the helm of these Toronto Blue Jays. They're just under 500 with a win yesterday. They could have get back to the 500 mark, but they did lose to New York, and they're 69 and 71. 17 games back behind the Yankees in the East. Blue Jays beginning a 7-day homestand. Red Sox are here for 4, then the Orioles are here for 3. There goes McCoy at first. Here's a chopper to first. Gonzalez tags the bag and then fires down to second base trying to get him. Can't. He does get Thames. He tagged the bag quickly. But McCoy reaching second base. He was stealing on the pitch.
Taking off on the pitch that makes it impossible for the Red Sox to get a double play. Gonzalez standing right in the bag. He'll tag that, make the throw to second base, but not in time to get McCoy. That would have been a tag play at second base.
Well, the key matchup is brought to you by your New England Acura dealers. And Jose Bautista, 3 for 9 with a couple of home runs off Josh Beckett. Bautista with 40 home runs now on the season. Flares it foul off to the right for strike 1.
In his career against Josh Beckett, 3 for 9 with a couple of home runs. There you see the numbers on the season for Bautista, leading the American League in home runs with 40.
Leads the majors with the 40 home runs, 109 walks, and on base percentage of .446. Tops in slugging percentage. One is outside, 1-1. Mentioned he had his 40th home run. It came yesterday, part of a loss against the New York Yankees. An amazing 40 home runs now for Bautista on this September the 5th. Coming just the second Blue Jay to hit 40 home runs in back-to-back seasons. Carlos Delgado, the only Jay to do it 99 to 2000. As Beckett jumps ahead 1-2. Got a 7-game hitting streak coming into today's action. Hitting at .314 over the last 17 games. As he waits on a 1-2. Time called late. Beckett holding on to the ball for a long time. On the outside corner for strike 3 gets Bautista. And he doesn't like it as he talks it over with Mark Carlson. It's his second out of the first inning.
Now Beckett painting that outside corner with the fastball. Too close to take with 2 strikes.
So 2 down here in the first inning. Mike McCoy at second base and Adam Lynn the batter. To 254 with 24 home runs, 79 runs batted in. Lind has struggled lately. He's just 8 for his last 49, 163 batting average the last 13 games for the Jays first baseman, who takes ball 1 outside. That took over here at first base after Lyle Overbay wrapped up his career with the Blue Jays and headed to Pittsburgh. Lind with 24 home runs this season. Takes another pitch outside, 2-0.
Beckett being very careful with Lynn. Lynn, a .444 career hitter against Josh Beckett. Does have 1 home run.
Mike McCoy singling to begin the inning. Gets to second base on the ground out by Thames. Jose Bautista strikes out looking. So 2 down. Runner at second base. And a 2-0 pitch coming to Lind.
The Red Sox defense is brought to you by Jordan's Furniture, third in the American League. Euclid, Scudero, Pedroia, Gonzalez in the infield. Crawford, Ellsbury, Reddick in the outfield. And Jason Veritek doing the catching for Josh Beckett.
2 down, McCoy at second base, and Lind ahead in the count now, 3-0. And Beckett walks him on 4 pitches. So Lind down to first base. 2 on, 2 down now. Bring up Edwin Encarnacion. Encarnacion, the DH today, hitting at 277. 15 home runs and 44 runs batted in. He leads the Blue Jays in doubles, got 33 on the year. Matching a career high that he had with the Cincinnati Reds back in 2006. This one foul back. Dangerously close.
Where were you going?
I started to go after, but then I decided that it was too hot, so I got out of the way. That was pretty close. It hit like right here.
And destroyed somebody's phone, maybe.
No, we're okay, I think.
Everybody's all right.
Lee's okay. No, 1 pitch is grounded foul. And it is 0-2. Veritek out to talk to Beckett here with 2 down and 2 on for the Jays in the first.
Has a fall feeling to the air up here in Toronto today on Labor Day. Cooler conditions than what we had over the weekend in Boston.
Breaking ball fouled off at the dish, and it's 0-2. McCoy at second, Lind at first, 2 down. Beckett has brought this game to a halt. Runner at second takes off at third. It's a pitch in the dirt, and taking third base is McCoy.
Hell, the second time he's been off since being on base. Once from first base and now takes third easily standing up. Not even a throw from Jason Veritek on that curveball that was in the dirt.
Two down, Mike McCoy at third base, Adam Lind at first base, and Encarnacion waiting on a 1-2 pitch. Beckett trying to get out of this first inning jam. Fly ball down the right field line, foul. The 21st inning pitches here for Josh Beckett. Had to work hard in the first. Swing and a miss. Strikes out Encarnacion to end the inning. Gets out of the jam as the Blue Jays strand a pair. Done with one. No score from Toronto. No scoreless game as we head to the second inning. And leading it off for the Red Sox is David Ortiz. And Kevin Youkilis and Carl Crawford face Henderson Alvarez. On 3 flyouts at a 1-2-3 first inning, throwing 13 pitches. As David Ortiz settles in. Big Papi started the day hitting at .314. 28 home runs and 89 runs batted in. There for a strike, 1-1. Mentioned that Alvarez made his major league debut August 10th against Oakland. So went 5 2/3 in that debut, giving up 3 earned runs. In there for strike 2 is a guy that began the year at Single A Dunedin of the Florida State League.
That's been quite a climb to the big leagues this year for Alvarez as he picks up the bottom of the strike zone with that fastball.
Made 15 appearances, 14 starts with New Hampshire, the Eastern League. Ortiz hits it in the air to shallow right center. Dwayne Wise has been very busy as he puts away out number 1. Send it down to Heidi.
Well, Don, you were talking about the 21-year-old rookie Henderson Alvarez. He got his first win in his last outing. 8 scoreless innings against Baltimore, gave up just 3 hits. His manager, John Farrell, said it all starts with his command.
I think the most impressive thing was the consistency of the location and quality of strikes. He's done a much better job his last 2-3 times out throwing the fastballs in the righties and lefties and throwing some balls in off the plate to keep some hitters honest. But he's shown tremendous mound presence and poise. And it's a very bright young pitcher, and we're going to need that type of performance again today against Boston.
This is Alvarez's 6th big league start. He's 1-2 with a 3.53 ERA over his first 5 starts. He signed with the Blue Jays when he was just 16 years old out of Venezuela. Don?
All right, Heidi, thank you very much. Well, they are very excited about him, and he's off to a good start so far today. Retired the first 4 Red Sox that he's faced in the game, now dealing with Youkilis ahead 0-2. Youkilis fouls it off.
That's what Farrell was talking about, not afraid to come inside, especially with 2 strikes against Kevin Youkilis. Youkilis topping the ball apparently off his foot or knee, one of the 2.
Ball 1-1-2 to Kevin Youkilis. Center fielder Dwayne Wise over towards right center. Youkilis to go the other way. Youkilis instead goes to third base. Tough hop, but Lori's got it. Throws it across. 2 down. Well, with over 230 colleges and universities in New England, NESN is on the hunt to see which one will stand above the rest in our newest competitive series, AT&T Schooled. NESN's College Face-Off, presented in part by your local Chevy dealers. Watch the ultimate battle of brain power and wits unfold beginning tomorrow night after our Red Sox coverage. Fastball missing away to Carl Crawford. It's a .252 with 11 home runs and 52 runs batted in. Pop up, sent foul off to the left. And the count evens at 1-1. Ground ball up the middle, ranging is Johnson. Nice play. Up into the air, got a lot on the throw. Good rangy play from Kelly Johnson. The scoreless as we head to the bottom of the second in Toronto. By Sun Life Financial to wrap up a busy Labor Day in the sports world, including the latest news out of Foxborough. The Patriots season opener now 1 week away. Plus a full recap from Norton as the Deutsche Bank Championship wraps up today. We'll see how Andrew Farron spent his day with the Stanley Cup. It's all coming up tonight at 10, only on NESN Daily. Bottom of the second inning back in Toronto. Scoreless as Josh Beckett returns to the mound through 21 first inning pitches. There's Kelly Johnson, a nice defensive play to end last inning, leads it off and fouls off the first pitch.
Kelly Johnson going to the backhand, the jump throw to first base, and in plenty of time to get Kyle Crawford. Nice play by the Toronto second baseman. Because we're accustomed to seeing Aaron Hill there, no longer with the Blue Jays.
And John McDonald sent to Arizona. Diamondbacks playing great baseball. Pitch in there for a strike, and Aaron Hill, who's having such a miserable season here in Toronto, has really lit it up since getting to Arizona. Diamondbacks, who have won 9 of their last 10 games, have a 7-game lead now in the National League West. And a couple of Blue Jays, a big part of it. 0-2 pitch is up the middle into center field. A base hit for Kelly Johnson. Second hit for the Blue Jays. A little bobble out there. And Johnson thought about taking second, but he will remain at first.
Kelly Johnson gets the 0-2 curveball from Josh Beckett and takes it up the middle. Curveball stays away, and Johnson flicks it up the middle for the base hit. There's the bobble right here by Jacoby Ellsbury, but no advance by Kelly Johnson.
Second straight inning, the lead runner has been on for the Jays. Here is Brett Laurie, who has had a terrific season since coming up. 317, 7 homers, and 20 runs batted in. On the ground towards third base, Youkilis will go to second for one. On to first, not in time. With the lead runner and Johnson for the first out of the inning.
People we talked to about Laurie this morning tells us that he hustles all the time, and he was hustling down that line and beats the double play. It looked like it was going to be a sure double play for the Red Sox, but Laurie with good speed getting down the line and beating it. Quite a few new names in this lineup since the last time we saw the Jays. Laurie being one of those.
29 games since making his major league debut on August the 5th. Leading all rookies in the majors. He's had 4 triples, 7 home runs. Slugging percentage of .663. And 33 hits since coming up. 18 have been extra base hits. He takes off for second. The throw down is not in time. Able to steal second base. Molina taking the strike, and it is 0-1.
5th stolen base for Laurie on the season. He has not been caught yet. Veritek's throw's going to bounce. The swipe tag by Scooter Road, not in time, as Laurie almost slides by the bag.
So 1 out in scoring position. Molina down 0-1. Swinging a foul, and it's 0-2. Beckett at 94 on the fastball. He's seeing limited time on this last road trip for the Blue Jays. He was 1 for 8 on the trip. 0 for his last 6. Up high, 1-2.
Russ Molina uses that unusual open stance and then closes up as the pitch is coming to home plate. He's almost wide open facing the pitcher prior to the pitch.
Chopped up the middle. Pedroia was close to the bag at second, plays the high hop and throws out Molina. A good time with Molina running, but Pedroia still had to hurry on that bounding ball back up the middle, 2 down. Well, for every Red Sox game that goes into extra innings where the Red Sox get a save, CVS Pharmacy will donate $500 to Children's Hospital Boston. CVS Pharmacy is the official pharmacy of the Boston Red Sox. 2 down. Brett Laurie is at third base now, and Dwayne Wise the batter. It's just 176 with a home run and a run batted in. The former Chicago White Sox outfielder. Beckett's 30th pitch. He is in there for strike one. Dwayne Wise, not known for his power, hit a home run off Bartolo Colon on Saturday. He's claimed off waivers by the Blue Jays from the Florida Marlins, playing in 49 games for Florida this season. Wild swing and a miss, and it's 0-2.
And back-to-back curveballs to start off. Wise by Josh Beckett. This curveball bouncing to Jason Varitek. Nice play by Varitek to keep that run at third base.
Dwayne Wise in his third stint with the Blue Jays. Most recently appearing in 52 games last year with the club, batting at .250 with 3 homers, 14 runs batted in. As mentioned, he started this year with the Florida Marlins before the Blue Jays took him back off waivers. And he bats here with a runner at third and 2 down. Beckett coming in at 12-5, looking for his 13th win of the year, a 2.54 ERA, and his 27th start of the season. Swing and a miss, able to strike out Dwayne Wise to end the inning. The Jays have stranded 3. Were scoreless at the end of 2. Massachusetts or New Hampshire, aged 18 or older. For a full set of official rules, visit DunkinDonuts.com. Third inning back at the Rogers Center in Toronto. No score, as Josh Reddick leads it off here for the Red Sox in the third inning. It's Reddick, Varitek, and Scutaro, as Henderson Alvarez has retired the first 6 Red Sox he's faced in the game. Good to see Josh Reddick back in the Red Sox lineup after being hit in the hand with a pitch late in the game on Saturday. And there's still a question mark. Terry Francona put him in the lineup, but Terry said they're going to wait and see for game time to see how he felt. Apparently he feels okay and in there to make the start today for the Red Sox. Nick fouls it off and is down 1-2.
Yeah, Terry Francona usually the earliest in baseball to get his lineup up, and it took quite a while today to wait for Reddick to come in and see if he was okay to play.
On the ground off the glove of Alvarez, but it's to Johnson at second base, who's still able to get Reddick. Goes 1-4-3 on the putout for the first out of the third inning.
Alvarez just slowing that ball up a little bit for his second baseman, Kelly Johnson.
So 1 out in the third inning for Jason Varitek. Red Sox catcher hitting at .236. 10 home runs and 32 runs batted in. He's been Josh Beckett's regular catcher in 2011. Varitek last played on Friday, was 0-for-3 in the first game of the series against Texas. Swing and a miss, and it's 1-1. Snapped a 6-game hitting streak for Varitek, which he was hitting at .364. Last Wednesday, Jason getting his 10th home run of the year. 11th double-digit home run campaign. Most ever by a Red Sox catcher. Carlton Fisk had 9. Ball 2, 2-2. Marco Scutaro waiting on deck. Red Sox batting in the top of the third inning. Full count now. Swing and a miss. Veritek down on strikes. First K for Alvarez. 2 down in the third inning.
Now that shows some confidence from the young pitcher going to the changeup on the 3-2 count to pick up the strikeout.
So 2 down in the third inning for Marco Scutaro, batting out of the number 9 spot at 271. 5 home runs and 35 runs batted in. Sits safely in 15 of his last 18 games. From the Toronto Blue Jay, really this was the place for Marco where he had a chance to play on a regular basis for the first time in his career.
And still received warmly by these fans in Toronto when his name is introduced prior to the ball game.
After really being a part-time player with the Mets and Oakland A's. Which is in there for strike, and it's 2-1. Enabled him to get the contract he did with the Red Sox based on what he did here on a daily basis in Toronto. On the ground and off the glove of Laurie, who slowed it down. It'll be a base hit for Marco Scutaro, and the first base hit, first base runner for the Red Sox in this game.
Now Laurie going into the dive but can't come up with it. Scutaro gets the base hit, extends his hitting streak now to 5 games as the Red Sox have their first hit of the ball game, coming with 2 outs here in the third inning.
So 1 on, 2 away, and back up top now for Jacoby Ellsbury. Second time through now for Henderson Alvarez. Ellsbury down the right field line. This will be a fair ball. Heading towards the corner is Scutaro. He is going to be stopped at third base. And it's a good thing he would have been out. Getting it back in quickly was Bautista, and it's now second and third with 2 down. Bogart threw the stop sign up just in time for Scutaro to throw the brakes on.
As I said, last week, you keep him running as hard as you possibly can until you have to put up the stop sign. And once everything was playing clean out there in right field by Bautista and the throw came back into the cutoff man, that's when the stop sign goes up by Bogart. And you're right, Don, it's a good thing because he probably would have been out by about 20 feet.
Well, Jacoby Ellsbury is safe at second. Safe and secure. New York life. The Red Sox have something going here as Alvarez works from the stretch for the first time. Second and third now, 2 down. And Dustin Pedroia takes ball 1. Pedroia flied out to center field in the first inning. Pedroia turns on this and sends it foul, 1-1. Center fielder for the Blue Jays, Dwayne Wise, playing on the shallow side as he moves in center. Blue Jays about straight away, although Wise step or 2 towards right center.
Yeah, fairly shallow in center, fairly shallow in right field for Jose Bautista.
Alvarez was able to get Reddick to ground out, Veritek to strike out, but infield hit for Scutaro, a double for Ellsbury, and all of a sudden, second and third, 2 down. There's a 1-1 pitch. Ball 2. Pedroia with great numbers here at the Rogers Center in Toronto. Pedroia chops it off the plate, foul, 2-2.
Alvarez going to that sinking fastball at 92. Variety of speeds on his fastball depending on how much he makes it sink, a two-seamer or a four-seamer. That time the two-seamer at 92. And the foul ball by Pedroia.
Adrian Gonzalez on deck, 2 down. Scudero at third, Ellsbury at second. Pedroia chops to third. Lori's going to first after a step and gets it. Alvarez out of the jam. We played 2.5, still without a score from Toronto. Brady, Boomer Esiason, and our own Jerry Remy. Dennis and Callahan, weekdays at 6 a.m. right here on Nesson across the WEEI Sports Radio Network. Northborough, Massachusetts, represented here in Toronto.
That's just north of Southborough.
The last half of the third inning back at the Rogers Center. 2 hits apiece, but no runs yet. First pitch swinging is Mike McCoy down to third, where Youkilis throws across and retires McCoy. 1 pitch, 1 out here in the bottom of the third inning. One down, and Eric Thames coming up. Left fielder for the Blue Jays, who gets a second look at Josh Beckett today. Bounced out to first base in the first inning. Beckett 4-6 in his career against the Blue Jays. Not one of his better teams. 6.57 earned run average in his career. And here in Toronto, some very tough numbers. He is 1-2 here in Toronto at the Rogers Center. But ready for this? A 9.28 earned run average in his career against the Blue Jays here at the Rogers Center. That's 33 earned runs in 32 innings, 6 starts here in Toronto. Very surprising numbers. The amount of success Beckett has had. But not in Toronto, as he misses for ball 1, 1-2. Two and 2 now to Thames. Hard to imagine numbers that would be worse against any other team.
That's a pretty good sample, too. A 6-game sample up here at Rogers Center.
40th pitch coming up here for Beckett of his outing. Swing and a miss on a pitch in the dirt. Thames strikes out. It's the 4th strikeout for Beckett, and there's 2 down.
First strikeout for Beckett on the curveball. He's got a couple on fastballs, 1 on a cut fastball, and now the curveball with a strikeout on Thames.
So 2 down here in the 3rd inning for Jose Bautista. He's one of those strikeouts, and he was none too pleased about it. He was rung up by Mark Carlson, the home plate umpire.
Last time out for Beckett against the Yankees, he had 8 strikeouts in that ball game.
Swing and a miss, and it's 1-1. Beckett trying to grab his first 1-2-3 inning of his outing. Blue Jays stranding 3 for the first 2 innings. Bautista on a check swing foul is down 1-2. The Red Sox Nation, if you need medical care while at Fenway Park, visit the Beth Israel Deaconess First Aid Stand behind Section 12 Beth Israel Deaconess Medical Center is the official hospital of the Boston Red Sox. Visit them at bidmc.org. Time called again as Beckett and Veritek going through the signs. Taking a lot longer and going to the secondary set of signs. Like there's a base runner at second. Into doing it here with no one on. 1-2 pitch. Breaking ball in the dirt, and the count is 2-2. While most have said they don't believe the Toronto Blue Jays are stealing signs, apparently the Red Sox are still a little suspect.
Why take that chance?
Exactly. 2-2 pitch. In the dirt, but he goes around, got totally fooled, and strikes out. Second time that Beckett's got him. 5 Ks for Beckett. No score through 3. It off. Adrian flied out to the warning track in left field in the first inning. He's 0 for 1. It's a second look at Henderson Alvarez, who in a bit of a jam in the third inning. Second, third, 2 outs, but got Pedroia to ground out to end the inning. Alvarez wanted it, but misses for ball 1, 1-1. Breaking ball and a swing and a miss, 1-2.
More of a curveball that time from Alvarez than the slider. So a 4th pitch that he features.
Swing and a miss, and he strikes out Adrian. Second strikeout for Alvarez. 1 down.
Now the first changeup strikeout was to Veritek. That was on a changeup back to the slider away to Gonzalez to pick up his second strikeout of the ball game. Strikeout high since being in the big leagues, 6. He did that against Tampa Bay.
Ortiz takes strike 1. David flied out to center field here in the second inning. Red Sox have 2 hits against Alvarez, 1 in the infield for Scudero, and a double down the right field line for Jacoby Ellsbury, and that has been it. It's 2 strikeouts, and he's not walked anybody yet. Two-one is slice foul off to the left out of play, and it's 2-2 now. On deck, Kevin Youkilis, the Red Sox bat here in the 4th inning. Second time through against Henderson Alvarez. This is through the shift and into right field. A base hit for David Ortiz. And it's stacked up on the right side with Brett Laurie in short right, and Ortiz gets through the shift. Third Red Sox hit of the day.
And it's on the slider from Alvarez. He gets a lot of home plate down in the zone. Good pitch for David Ortiz to make solid contact on. He does, and he shoots it out to Bautista in right field for the base hit.
One down, Ortiz at first, and Youkilis the batter. Strike 1 to Youkilis. Grounded out to third base in the second inning. On the corner, and it's 0-2.
Alvarez got a little flair to him too, doesn't
yes, he does.
Watch the reaction after the strike.
0-2 pitch is framed by Molina. First pitch, but apparently just outside. 1-2.
That two-seam fastball again didn't miss the outside corner by very much.
Downstairs this time, 2-2. Carl Crawford waiting on deck with one out here in the fourth inning. David Ortiz with a one-out single gains a short lead at first base. Held on by Adam Lynn. Nicholas taps it foul, still 2-2. The new $2 Red Sox instant ticket from the Mass State Lottery offers players over $26 million in cash prizes, official Red Sox gear, and chances to win up to $25,000 from the field at Fenway Park. It's the season's first perfect game. Visit masslottery.com. 60th pitch for Alvarez. 2-2 to Youkilis. In the dirt and knocked down by Molina. Full count. Ortiz takes off as Youkilis pops it up into short right. Long run for Bautista, but he'll get there to make the catch as Ortiz gets back to the bag at first with now 2 down.
A little bloop out in the right field by Kevin Youkilis with Ortiz off at first base. And with the infield going over to cover, it's Bautista that has to cover all the ground and come in and make the catch on the pop-up.
2 down in the fourth inning. David Ortiz still at first, and Carl Crawford, the batter, grounded out to second base first time up. Very nice rangy play at second by Kelly Johnson. There's strike one. Strike two. Crawford thought about it, but couldn't pull the trigger. 0-2.
Back-to-back changeups by Alvarez to start off Carl Crawford in this particular at bat, and both in almost the identical same spot, away on the corners.
It's Crawford dancing out of the way of a fastball down and in. Josh Reddick waiting on deck. Red Sox batting in the fourth inning. Back outside, 2-2. Carl Crawford over the weekend getting his fourth career grand slam. 3 for 9 in the series against Texas. In the dirt, Molina grabs it quickly, bounced around and off Crawford, but it's full count now.
Now Molina still does a very nice job behind home plate, blocking balls, throwing out base runners. He's thrown out 27% so far this season. That time backhanding the ball to knock it down, and actually bounced off Crawford. Back into the hand of Molina.
A 3-2 pitch. Running it foul, staying alive is Crawford.
There's that changeup again on the 3-2 count. Not afraid to do that. He did it to Veritek. Three-two changeup to Crawford. And Crawford just barely tapping it to stay alive.
Outside ball 4, and he loses him. So the first walk given up by Alvarez. Good battle by Crawford to get down 0-2. Ends up walking. So Ortiz will take second. 2 on, 2 outs. 20th walk of the season for Carl Crawford. 2 on, 2 down for Josh Reddick. Grounded off the pitcher Alvarez, kicked out to second, and he was thrown out by Kelly Johnson. Town 0-2. 70 pitches now for Alvarez. Ortiz at second. Crawford at first. 2 down. The 0-2 pitch. Reddick strikes out looking. He knew it. Takes with him the third strikeout for Alvarez. Red Sox strand a pair. No score after 3.5.
It's how you treat it, and so far 5 strikeouts. A fastball by Batista in the first inning, a cut fastball to Encarnacion, a fastball to Dwayne Wise, a breaking ball to Thames, and then another curveball to Batista for the 5 strikeouts so far for Josh Beckett.
So it's on to the bottom of the 4th inning, and it's Adam Lind who leads it off. Lind, Encarnacion, and Johnson a bat in the inning against Beckett. Lind walked in the first inning. Only free pass served up by Beckett in his outing. It's in there for strike 1, 1-1. Blue Jays have 2 hits off Beckett, a single by Mike McCoy in the first inning and a single by Kelly Johnson in the second inning. Both were leadoff hits and neither scored. Blue Jays have left 3 men on through the first 3 innings. Swing and a miss, 2-2. Beckett winning his last 3 outings. He won at Kansas City, at Texas, and at home against New York. Last time he lost was at Seattle, August the 13th, in a 5-inning effort, giving up 5 runs. That is on the outside corner for strike 3. 6 strikeouts for Beckett, 1 down in the 4th inning.
That's 3 in a row for Beckett. Thames, Batista, now Lynn on a fastball to lead off the 4th inning.
One down in the 4th for Edwin Encarnacion, the DH who struck out swinging in the first inning. Beckett's strikeout high on the season is 11. Did that at Houston against the Astros back on July the 3rd. He also has a 10K game that was against New York back on April 10th. On the ground to the backhand, deep short for Scudero. He plans to use the artificial surface, but can't get it there in time. Encarnacion beats it out, an infield hit with 1 down.
Yeah, just too far to throw for Marco Scudero. Covered a lot of ground to get to the ground ball. Tried to one-hop it on the turf, on the artificial surface to help get it to first base, but not quite in time to get Encarnacion, who picks up the single. First hit that Encarnacion has had against Beckett. He is now 1 for 7 in his career against Josh.
1 out, 1 on, and Kelly Johnson, the batter, singled to center field in the second inning. Fly ball out to left field where Carl Crawford is out there to make the catch, and back to first goes Encarnacion with 2 down. Time now for the answer to today's AT&T trivia question. Last Red Sox to have 40 or more home runs in consecutive seasons. Answer is David Ortiz. Actually had it in 3 straight seasons of 40 or more, starting with his 41 in 04. Followed it up with a 47 in 05, and then had a team record 54 in 06. Manny Ramirez also had more than 40 in both 04 and 05, but only had 35 in 06. Jose Bautista, of course, connected for his 40th home run yesterday against the Yankees, becoming the second Blue Jay with consecutive 40 home run seasons. Carlos Delgado is the other. Delgado had 44 in 99, then 40 even in 2000. Brett Lawrie reaching on a fielder's choice in the second inning. First year playing on a regular basis at third base. Started off as a catcher and now playing third base and getting to the big leagues here with the Blue Jays and having a terrific first season. His pitch in the dirt, gliding to his right is Jason Varitek. Lawrie coming over in the Sean Markham deal from the Milwaukee Brewers. He was a first-round pick by Milwaukee, 18th overall in 2008. Made it more enticing for the Blue Jays, no doubt. He's Canadian-born. He's from Langley, British Columbia. Breaking ball in there for strike 2.
Now, British Columbia is on the other side of Canada, right?
Yep,
West.
Exactly.
So they didn't really care very much here about.
Well, I think Canada's Canada. I think they're happy to have a Canadian born on the Toronto Blue Jays.
Really?
Well, it seems a lot of their guys that come over here, it's important for them to have Canadian born players.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure there was no division between
The West,
and the East.
Yeah.
There is in hockey.
The Bruins certainly found out a lot about Vancouver, British Columbia, and
Yes,
how far it is.
Exactly.
The 1-2, runner goes. The pitch is just outside, no throw. And a stolen base for Encarnacion.
Beckett wanted that last pitch. Looked like a pretty good fastball. Encarnacion off at first base, picks up his 6th steal of the season, just kind of cruising in.
Something's wrong with Beckett. Here comes the trainer and Terry Francona to the mound. Stretch out the foot area.
Tough to tell. Ankle, foot.
be the push-off foot, yes?
It appears that
He
way.
is flexing.
Yes. You pick something up on the replay. Watch the right foot. He's down with a little bit of a limp.
Terry Francona coming off to talk to Kurt Young. Looks like they're going to get somebody up and into this game, perhaps, as Beckett will be coming out. Well, this is the last thing the Red Sox need right now as Beckett comes off with an apparent injury in the 4th inning with 2 outs. Looks like something's wrong with the foot. Scoreless from Toronto.
Foxwoods has something for everyone. From hot pool parties to free concert series to dining and spa specials, Foxwoods is your summer hotspot. Visit foxwoods.com for details.
Well, back in Toronto, and Josh Beckett leaving with an injury here in the 4th inning.
Yeah, we don't want to speculate on what it was, but it's his right ankle or foot, it appears. As he comes down, you can see him limping right away, almost like he twisted the ankle or his foot cramped up, something with that right foot and or ankle. So we'll have to wait for official word from the Red Sox on just exactly what the injury is. Alceves will get all the time he needs to warm up.
Call to the bullpen brought to you by New England Ford Dealers. And Alfredo trying to stretch it out right now. He's actually beyond the mound, halfway to second base, and just trying to get warmed up. So it'll be his 45th appearance, 9-2 with a 2.99 earned run average. 90 in the 3rd innings. He has 61 strikeouts, and opponent's hitting at 206 against him. Let's send it down to Heidi.
Well, Don, the player at the plate when Beckett came out of the game is the Blue Jays rookie third baseman Brett Lowry. Now, he leads all rookies in just about every offensive category. He's batting .317 over the 29 games since he was called up. And I asked him how he's able to have so much success right now.
Just go out and play. I don't really worry about, how I'm supposed to. I just worry about going out and playing the game of baseball. And I know if I go out there and play my game and just do what I can to help the team, then I'm going to be all right. And so far, so good.
Lowry is one of the most touted prospects with the Blue Jays. He's not only handling that pressure remarkably well, he's also from Canada, as you guys were saying. He is a very popular player from the first game he came here because of that. Lowry was the Brewers' first pick in the 2008 draft. He was traded to Toronto last December. He is the highest drafted position player ever out of Canada, and he has said that really he is like the prodigal son here from Canada playing in his home country. Don?
All right, Heidi, thank you very much. Well, he's had a terrific beginning to his major league career. Great numbers out of the gate, and he will be coming up here with 2 outs and a runner at second base, and count of 2-2. It'll be inherited by Alfredo Aceves. Count even, it'll be Aceves' batter. And Aceves now just getting to the mound. He has been warming up from beyond the mound for the first 10-15 throws, and again, he can take as long as he wants to get ready because of the injury to Josh Beckett. Beckett had 6 strikeouts here today and was pitching very well, giving up just 3 hits so far. As we take a look at the pitching line for Beckett, brought to you by Ace Ticket, and 3 2/3, 3 hits. He's responsible for Encarnacion at second base, but so far no runs. Walked a batter and struck out 6 through a total of 58 pitches here today, and we didn't notice anything prior to that.
No, it seemed like it was on that particular pitch right there, and Beckett did have very good stuff in this game today against the Blue Jays. We just hope that that's not a serious injury to the Red Sox ace.
So 2 down, and Encarnacion will be at second base when Aceves is ready. The home plate umpire Mark Carlson has got the word. He is ready. Jason Varitek headed out to talk to Aceves now. Aceves through a scoreless 6th inning against the Yankees before being charged with 2 runs in the 7th. Took the loss in his last outing. That was against New York 4 days ago. Snapped a career high 13 1/3 scoreless innings. Runner takes off for third. The pitch will miss. As a stolen base for Encarnacion, his second of the inning. Third stolen base of the game now for the Blue Jays, who are running.
And Aceves not even concerned about the man at second base, nor with the middle infielders. They just catch the Red Sox by surprise. And Encarnacion moves up another bag.
He went around, I think. No, says Tim Timmons. So down to first base goes Laurie with 2 outs. Take a look.
I thought he had swung, but apparently not, according to Tim Timmons at first base. That was the breaking ball from Aceves.
So Laurie at first base, first and third, 2 down. Jose Molina, the batter. Grounded out in the second inning. In the air to right field, over goes Reddick towards the line to make the catch that ends the inning. So Aceves gets out of the jam. We remain scoreless through 4 innings from Toronto. Families by donating $1,000 for every home run Adrian hits this season to select Habitat for Humanity affiliates in eastern Massachusetts. Into the 5th inning, where the Red Sox and Blue Jays are scoreless. It'll be Jason Varitek, Marco Scutaro, and Jacoby Ellsbury to bat in the 5th against Henderson Alvarez. Had a lengthy wait due to Beckett leaving the game with an injury, and Fredo Aceves warming up in the bottom of the 4th inning. Still no score as we start this 5th inning. Alvarez at 71 pitches through the first 4 innings. He was able to strike out Jason Varitek back in the 3rd inning. It starts off ahead of him. Worked out to be a 21-minute wait for Alvarez. Alvarez with 3 strikeouts so far in the game. Swinging a foul tip, 1-2. He's given up 3 hits, an infield hit to Scutaro, a double to Ellsbury, and then a single for David Ortiz. Runs outside, 2-2.
Last time Alvarez got Varitek on a changeup on a 3-2 count.
Ground ball left side, way over is Laurie to his left, and he throws out Varitek. They had him played to pull, and Laurie was over in the shortstop spot. 1 down here in the 5th. It's time for a game break, and Tom Caron. TC. Okay, Tom, thanks very much. The Yankees have won 4 straight games and trying to keep it going against the Orioles. 1 out in the 5th inning here without a score as Marco Scutaro takes one off the outside edge. 2-0. Marco reaching on an infield hit to third base in the 3rd inning. Another foul, this time to the right, and it is 2-2. Marco spending 2008, 2009 as a member of the Toronto Blue Jays. misses for ball 3. His best season is last year here in Toronto. 12 home runs, 60 runs batted in, hit .282 and played 144 games. He'll chop this foul and stay alive. In the air to right center field. This will be a gapper to the track and the wall for Scutaro. Marco into second base standing with a 1-out double. He's 2 for 2.
Well, the first single for Scutaro coming on a fastball. This double coming on a changeup from Alvarez. Nice job staying back by Scutaro as he finds the gap in right center field. Batista chasing it down, but it's Wise that gets it in. Gets it back into second base, but Scutaro in scoring position with 1 out.
There is no doubt he is comfortable hitting here at the Rogers Center this season in a Red Sox uniform against Toronto. At the Rogers Center, he is 8 for 12. And second with 1 away for Jacoby Ellsbury. There's a rocket right back to Alvarez. He's got Scutaro trapped. He went down, and now they will run him down and tag him out. Go to second, and Ellsbury will be out. Everybody's out. So Scutaro, who appeared to injure himself there, stopping in between second and third. He's out, and they get Ellsbury to end the inning. Scoreless in Toronto. Two years in a row by J.D. Power and Associates. Find out more of what we're made of at easternbank.com.
Well, a very strange play to end last inning. It looked like Marco Scutaro rolled over a right ankle as he fell after contact. You'll see him go down immediately and then gets caught in a rundown. Trying to go to third base. By going to third base, that allows Ellsbury to try to go to second, but they throw out Jacoby also. Here's Scutaro taking off. Now watch the right ankle just roll over.
Dwayne Wise almost gets hit in the chest as he shows bunt. Leads it off here in the bottom of the 5th inning for the Jays. Wise struck out swinging in the 2nd inning against Josh Beckett. Fredo Aceves finish off the 4th and starts the 5th. Outside for ball 2, 2-1. Swinging a foul tip, and it's 2-2. Final line on Beckett: 3 2/3, 3 hits, no runs, a walk, and 6 strikeouts before he left with an injury. Appeared to be favoring his right foot. 2-2 is tap foul.
Again, one of the many different roles that Aceves has been called upon to do this season for the Red Sox. Coming in early in this ball game for the injured Josh Beckett.
Swing and a miss. Aceves at 94 on the fastball blows it by him and strikes out Dwayne Wise for the first out of the inning.
Now the second time Wise is going down by the strikeout. Beckham got him in the 2nd, and now Aceves, an outside fastball, gets him here in the 5th.
No one down here in the 5th for Mike McCoy, who was 1 for 2 today. Single in the 1st inning, grounded out in the 3rd. Take strike 1 over the outside corner. Corner again, and it's 0-2. McCoy's previous major league experience coming with the Rockies in 09. Last year, 46 games with Toronto, hitting 195, and this year leading off for the Jays. Hanks tough at 0-2. We'll keep up with the chase for the NASCAR Sprint Cup as you and 3 friends could win VIP tickets and pit passes to watch the Sylvania 300 at New Hampshire Motor Speedway. Visit NESN.com/pitpass to read the official rules and enter to win by this Sunday, September 11th. 0-2 pitch fouled off to the right. Two pitch to McCoy. Breaking ball and a swing and a miss. McCoy strikes out. Back-to-back strikeouts for Sebas. 2 down.
Now this time Sebas going to the breaking ball, the curveball to pick up the strikeout. Everything away in that at bat to McCoy. Second strikeout of the inning for Alvarez. Sebas.
Send it down to Heidi.
Don, the Red Sox added pitcher Kyle Weiland to the roster today. Now, this is his 6th day since his last start at AAA, so he is available to pitch. Now, the interesting thing is that Terry Francona said this morning that the team wants to build in an extra day for Beckett for his next 2 starts. He said that before the game. Francona said it was just to keep him fresh, but you have to wonder if this apparent problem with his foot is something that had been bothering him before. Don?
All right, Heidi, thank you very much. Again, a look at the last pitch that Beckett threw. He was in the 4th inning with 2 outs when Beckett left this game. As the pitch in there for a strike, 1-1. Appear to be favoring the ankle or foot. Eric Thames with 2 outs waits on a 1-1 from Alfredo Aceves. And a swing and a miss. Aceves had a good live fastball today. 1-2.
95 with that last fastball from Aceves.
Foul tipped, held onto by Veritek as Aceves strikes out the side in order. We are scoreless at the end of 5. He'll make his 5th start of the season against the Blue Jays. He's 2-0 in his previous 4 starts, holding the Jays to a 183 average. Looking to post 3 wins against Toronto for the 3rd straight season. NESN's live coverage begins at 6 p.m. with Red Sox first pitch. Some of Red Sox Nation and Patriots Nation here in Toronto as the Red Sox and Blue Jays play along to the 6th inning. It'll be Dustin Pedroia, Adrian Gonzalez, and David Ortiz. Pedroia takes a breaking ball for strike 1. Dustin 0 for 2. Flied out to center field in the 1st inning. Grounded out to 3rd base in the 3rd. Molina's got a great way of making every pitch look like a strike. He kind of brings it to the corner even if it's not there, and he does it just with a tilt of his hand. 1-1 is chopped to 3rd. Lowry with a little trick. His throw is in time. Kind of slipped on a seam over there at 3rd base. The artificial surface, but he still gets Pedroia.
Second time Pedroia is grounded out to Laurie at third base. This ball backhand goes right back into the glove and gives him a chance to throw Pedroia out at first base. He charged that ball hard, backhanded it, went right back into the glove, and was still able to make that throw to first base to get Pedroia.
He goes into the shift now in short right from his spot at third base for Adrian Gonzalez, who is 0 for 2. Adrian flied out in the first, struck out swinging in the fourth inning. Wow. Their own sign day here in Toronto, Jerry.
Is today sign day in Toronto?
I believe they're starting their own sign day. I think every day should be sign day. The 1-2. It's a swing and a miss. Adrian Gonzalez strikes out again. Second time today. 4 Ks for Alvarez, 2 down.
The last time he got him on a breaking ball, this time he gets him on that sinking fastball. Everything down in the zone in that particular bat to Gonzalez.
Two down. David Ortiz 1 for 2. David flied out to center in the second. Single to right in the fourth. Send it down to Heidi.
Don, the Red Sox have just informed us that Josh Beckett left with a sprained right ankle. No additional information at that time, but of course, as it becomes available, we will let you know. Don?
All right, Heidi, thank you very much. I guess the severity of that sprain is more of a question than anything else.
Well, the concern there is the sprain is on his push-off foot, that right foot.
Opposite field liner, it hooks back to Thames, who makes the catch. Ortiz is gone. And so are the Red Sox in the sixth. 5.5 done, no score. Its performance in this series opener. Plus, you'll hear the Sox starter's post-game thoughts, and certainly about his injury. And Heidi will bring you the manager's perspective in Terry's take. It's all coming up right after the game on WB Mason Extra Innings Live. Alfredo Seves came into the game for Josh Beckett, who left with a sprained right ankle, and has done another very good job here so far. Final out of the fourth inning, struck out the side in order in the fifth. And Jose Bautista leads it off in the bottom of the sixth. Down the third baseline foul. There for strike 2, 0-2. Field set up straight away. Bautista be followed by Lind and Encarnacion here in the sixth inning. This one fouled off to our right, and it's still 0-2. Bautista with 40 home runs now this season. Total of 54 home runs a year ago. Breaking ball in the air to left. Towards the end of the bat, Crawford will have room, and he makes the catch shy of the track. Bautista is 0 for 3 in the game. I want to remind you to vote for the player who has gone above and beyond expectations in Boston this season for a chance to drive away a brand new 2011 Chevy Silverado, courtesy of your New England Chevy dealers. Cast your vote for the 10th player award by September 15th at NESN.com/10th player. This is my vote right there. Right to Aceves, who has been incredible this year. Really, I don't know what the Red Sox expected out of him. He was one of the last guys to make the team coming out of the spring. Has been so valuable this season for Boston and continues to be so every day. Is a swing and a miss, and it's 1-1. One to Adam Lind. A little bit low, apparently.
I would say another guy that would receive some attention would probably be Jared Saltalamacchia in that category.
Very good point.
A guy that nobody knew what to expect when the season started. He's had a fine year for the Red Sox. I'm with you on Aceves, Don. There's no question about that.
To right field, a base hit for Lind. Sharply hit through the right side. A 1-out single. Second time Lind has been on in the game. And until recently, I would have put Matt Albers probably on that list, but it's been a tough month.
Yeah, certainly first half, Matt Albers, but Saltalamacchia, nobody knew what to expect coming in, and actually expectations were not very high for Saltalamacchia, but he's done a terrific job for the Red Sox. He's gotten better and better as time has gone on. I'd have to sit down and really do some thinking about it. You know, Aceves right now, I would say, I agree with you, is probably would be my pick at this stage of the season.
Varitek headed out to talk to Aceves, who's fallen behind Encarnacion. Arbor-coated exterior stain by Benjamin Moore, revolutionary waterborne stain that outperforms the best oil-based stains on the market. Find Arbor-Coat at your local Benjamin Moore retailer.
Now, the other thing too, Don, is you could make a case for Jacoby Ellsbury.
Over and above what you expected, there's no doubt about that.
Absolutely, and a guy that missed all of last year, basically all of last season. Nobody knew what to expect coming back this year, whether he was even healthy or not. And you can make a case for that too. So it's not an easy vote.
A lot of choices.
A lot of choices. A lot more than we think.
By the mound, but towards Pedroia, could turn it into two, and he does. Inning-ending double play that wraps up the sixth. We're scoreless from Toronto. At 6:30, Nick will preview John Lester's attempt at his 15th win of the season. He has a 1.50 ERA in his last 4 starts. Plus, the Boston Globe's Michael Vega will bring you all the latest Red Sox news. It's all coming up tomorrow night. Our live coverage begins at 6, and it's only on NESN. They play along to the 7th inning. Kevin Youkilis takes ball 1 in the dirt from the new Toronto pitcher, Carlos Villanueva. Comes into the game for the Jays after 6 shutout innings from Henderson Alvarez. Villanueva, his 28th appearance, 6-3 with a 4.18. Behind Youkilis, 2-0. So comes in to pitch the 7th inning. Pretty impressive for Henderson Alvarez. Our first look at him.
I like his stuff very much. I like his sinking fastball. I like his slider, and I like his changeup. And he came right after the Red Sox hitters.
Villanueva, who misses for ball 3, has been a guy that John Farrell will use for more than an inning. In fact, 6 of his 14 relief appearances have been for 2 or more innings. And in those games, 0.51 earned run average. But he walks a leadoff batter here in the 7th inning. I want to remind you to get one of the best sports sections in the country delivered to your home every day. Sign up now for convenient Boston Globe home delivery at bostonglobe.com/sports. So Youkilis on to begin the 7th inning. Carl Crawford coming up. Crawford grounded out to second base in the second inning. Walked in the fourth inning. Late strike call from Mark Carlson, who says it's 1-1. Swinging a foul. It's 1-2 now to Crawford. The pitching line is brought to you by Boston area Lexus dealers. 6 innings today for Alvarez. 4 hits, no runs. He walked a batter, struck out 5, and threw 95 pitches. Villanueva walks Euclid to begin the 7th inning. Now ahead of Crawford, 1-2. In the air to left. Eric Thames going back. Will make the catch. Back to first goes Euclid. Thames is taking some tough routes out there in left field in this game, but he's got the job done a couple of times. 1 down.
They want to cross to his left, then back to make that play on Kyle Crawford in left field. I wonder if it's a little bit breezy inside here today, if that has any effect at all on the baseball. But there's the kind of weird angle he took across, then back, and backpedaling to make the catch on the fly ball from Crawford.
We saw him do a similar pattern earlier in the game with Adrian Gonzalez back in the first inning.
Kind of feels like the wind swirling in here today.
Able to make the catch in both instances. 1 out in the 7th. Euclid at first. Reddick waiting on an 0-1. Line into right field. A base hit for Reddick. Euclid to second base. And the Red Sox have something going in the 7th inning against Villanueva with 2 on and 1 out.
Yeah, first real threat that they've had since back in the 3rd inning when they had 2nd and 3rd with 2 outs. Josh Reddick with the line drive base hit. Batista was thinking about rushing that throw to second base. The ball was hit so hard, but did not have a chance to get Euclid.
Boston Red Sox baseball in Nesson is brought to you by Eastern Bank, who believes something as simple as your checking account shouldn't come with a lot of strings attached. Eastern Free Checking. See just how good a checking account can feel. Leadoff walk for Kevin Euclid. Fly out to left for Carl Crawford. Single to right for Reddick. 2 on, 1 away, and that takes us to Jason Varitek, who struck out in the 3rd inning, grounded out to 3rd in the 5th. Yankees now lead 9-8 over Baltimore in the bottom of the 5th inning now. Ground ball to first base, a bobble for Lind, and it's costly as he throws to first for the out there. But he was thinking about 2, was hit pretty sharply, and it lances off the glove. They only are able to get Varitek 2 down.
And they may have had to on that also if he had played it cleanly, but he does bobble it. And then from that point on, his only play is at first base to get Jason Varitek. There's that 2nd and 3rd situation again with 2 outs for the Red Sox. They had it back in the 3rd inning.
That time Pedroia grounded out to end the inning. See what Marco Scutaro does. He has been hot here at the Rogers Center. 8 for 12 on the year. 2 for 2 today. There for a strike over the inside corner.
Have a big air show here in Toronto going on today, and I think some of those planes are buzzing the Rogers Center right now.
strike two. Villanueva quickly ahead 0-2. Covidien, a global healthcare products company, is a proud sponsor of the Red Sox Foundation, helping to address health needs in our communities.
It's a long meeting for an 0-2 count right now.
Second and third, two down. The 0-2 pitch coming up to Marco Scutaro. It's outside, glances off the glove of Molina. And it's 1-2 now to Scutaro. Red Sox have left 4 men on base through the first 6 innings. Two pretty good offenses without any runs. Red Sox 0 for 4 with runners in scoring position. Blue Jays 0 for 5 in that category today. A 1-2 pitch. Scutaro grounds it towards shortstop Mike McCoy, who throws him out. And out of the jam is Villanueva. Scoreless 7th inning stretch from Toronto. Bottom of the 7th inning back in Toronto. Still no scores. Kelly Johnson leads it off for the Jays. Johnson 1 for 2 today. Singled in the 2nd inning. Flied out in the 4th. And there for strike one, 1-1. Sevis has been in the game since the 4th inning. Josh Beckett left with a sprained right ankle. Sevis has given up a walk and a hit. There's 3 strikeouts. And ahead now 1-2. Johnson has singled and flied out today. Fouled off to the left, out of play. Sevis with a 2.34 earned run average in 40 relief outings this season. One-two pitch outside, and it's 2-2. Flared. Out goes Scutaro to make the catch. Marco got a good running start and runs it down at short left for the first out of the 7th inning.
Yeah, no indication there either that the foot that he rolled over in that rundown play was any problem for him on this play. A little soft line drive that Scutaro gets a very good jump on and is able to take a base hit away from Johnson.
One out in the 7th inning. Brett Laurie, the batter. Laurie has been on twice, reached on a fielder's choice in the second inning, walked in the fourth inning. Outside ball 2-0. Just joining us today, Josh Beckett leaving after 3 2/3 innings with a sprained ankle. 3 hits, no runs, a walk, and 6 strikeouts. Fouled off to the right, out of play. Action in the Blue Jays pen. Right-hander Casey Janssen warming up. Inside, almost hit him, and it's 3-1. Well, back in the fourth inning, Josh Beckett leaving after this pitch, and you watch his right foot and has trouble coming down on it and keeping the weight off it. That was the last pitch he would throw, leaving the game with a sprained right ankle. Alfredo Aceves has been in the game since the fourth. It is 3-1 to Laurie. Inside, ball 4, and he walks him. Second time he's walked Laurie.
First batter that he faced back in the fourth inning was Laurie. He walked him then, and now he walks him again in the seventh.
I want to remind you to follow the Red Sox at MLB.com @11 app for your iPhone, iPad, Android, or BlackBerry. With live audio, pitch-by-pitch tracking, video highlights, and more. Text @BAT to 31826 or visit redsox.com for details.
I would expect something to happen here in this situation. 1 out, man at first. Laurie with good speed. Either a straight out steal, maybe a hit and run.
Blue Jays already have 3 stolen bases on the day. '40th pitch for Aceves. His ground ball towards short. Scudero to second for 1. They got Molina running. Plenty of time to throw. And a double play that ends the 7th inning. Second straight inning, the Red Sox have turned an inning-ending double play. No score through 7. He had 6 shutout innings. Josh Beckett leaves in the 4th inning with a sprained right ankle. Beckett was pitching well today. 3 2/3, no runs, but certainly some concern there as Alfredo Aceves takes over in the game. He's pitched ever since, and Aceves so far going 3 1/3 of relief. And he also has not given up any runs. A scoreless game to the 8th inning. And the Toronto Blue Jays will use their 3rd pitcher of the day. Casey Janssen comes into the game. Carlos Villanueva, which is the 7th inning. He's a hit, no runs, and a walk. Janssen into his 46th game of the year, 4-0. A 2.17 earned run average. 43 strikeouts. Opponents hitting at .231 against Janssen. Top of the Red Sox order to lead it off here in the 8th. Jacoby Ellsbury with double back in the 3rd inning. Take strike 1, 1-1. Red Sox have action in their pen. Daniel Bard warming up. On the ground, foul. Very close.
Ground ball down that first base line, just in foul territory. Tim Timmons making the call down at first base, and what was that?
Yeah, somebody tumbling onto the field.
trying to get herself a souvenir and ended up on the field.
2-2 fouled off. Ellsbury, Pedroia, and Gonzalez to bat here in the 8th against Casey Jansen. He's allowed to run in just 8 of his 45 appearances this year. Held lefties to a .220 average. Dealing with Jacoby Ellsbury right now, who backs out. July into August, he had a stretch. She went 16 2/3 without giving up a run. Longest stretch by any Toronto pitcher this season, and he wants to talk to Molina. Coming up after the game this afternoon, it's Granite City Electric Red Sox final with TC Eck and Heidi. Check in on all the highlights from around the majors, including the Yankees hosting the Orioles. Freddie Garcia and Brian Mattis are on the hill, plus a preview of the Game 2 of this series tomorrow night as Leicester will face Luis Perez. It's all coming up after the game only on NESN. Two-two pitch to Jacoby Ellsbury to lead off the 8th. It's jammed and pops it up foul. Pedroia, who's had an 0 for 3 day, waiting on deck. Ellsbury staying alive. Gets away, 3-2. Jansen, who's been in Toronto since 2006. 56 appearances last year with a 3.67 ERA. Well, this is extended to a 10-pitch at bat for Jacoby Ellsbury. Pitch 10 coming up here to Jacoby. And he finally strikes out Ellsbury. First out of the 8th. Took a while to get it done, but in the end, Jansen strikes out Ellsbury.
And he gets the strikeout with the fastball at 92 miles an hour. See, Ellsbury had settled himself and not making contact on that pitch.
Ellsbury saw just 6 pitches in his first 3 at bats, but 10 pitch at bat this time, and he strikes out. Pedroia takes strike 1. In the air to right field. Bautista back to make the catch. 2 down. Hess and Hess Express are proud sponsors of the Red Sox and the Red Sox on NESN during the 2011 Red Sox season. Hess and Hess Express will donate $500 to the pediatric trauma program at Children's Hospital Boston for every Red Sox home run. Hess and Hess Express, committed to helping the cause. 2 outs in the 8th inning for Adrian Gonzalez. 0 for 3 today. All that was against Henderson Alvarez, starter for the Blue Jays. To right field, Bautista going back. He's got to hurry up, and he can't get it. Off his glove to the wall as Gonzalez heads to second base. Hit so sharply, it appeared Bautista may have misplayed that initially, and it costs him as Gonzalez gets to second with 2 outs.
It did not look like he got a very good jump on this ball at all in right field. Right there, he comes in very slowly with about 3 steps, then decides to go back and ends up over his head. That ball was hit harder than Batista thought.
So it'll go as a double here with 2 outs in the 8th.
Now the question is, will they deal with Big Poppy with first base open or walk him and take their chances with Youkilis?
They will take their chances with Youkilis. There's David Ortiz to be put on. Interesting decision today by Terry Francona to put David Ortiz back in the cleanup spot.
And he mentioned that he was going to keep switching it around a little bit between Ortiz and Youkilis in that 4-hole.
Splits up the situation here with Youkilis, who had been in the cleanup spot for really all year until he went on the DL. And Ortiz, who has had such a good season, 28 homers, 89 runs batted in coming in, hitting at .314, also hitting for very good average. And David down to first base on the intentional walk. So they talk it over again. Lots of meetings in this inning. Boston Red Sox baseball on NESN is brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Kevin Youkilis is 1 for 9 in his career against Casey Jansen as he takes ball 1. David Ortiz had been 0 for 7 against Jansen, but they look to put him on. 2 on, 2 outs in the 8th in a scoreless game from Toronto. That's a strike, 1-1.
Jansen this year has only given up 1 home run on the season.
Popped up, foul ground. Molina will come back as far as he can, but no play. At .351 in this category on the season. And a chance here to register the game's first run. Top half of the 8th. The 1-2 pitch. Youkilis strikes out. Red Sox lead 2-1. We head to the bottom of the 8th. Still no score from Toronto. Scoreless as we head to the last half of the 8th inning back in Toronto. Back on the mound is Alfredo Aceves. He's gone the last 3 1/3 innings of relief. Kevin Youkilis strikes out looking with 2 on to end the top of the 8th inning. Red Sox stranding 8 base runners through the first 8 innings. Dwayne Wise leading it off for the Jays here in the 8th. Take strike 1 on the breaking ball from Aceves. On a strike now to Wise. Wise struck out in the 2nd inning, struck out in the 5th inning. Once by Beckett, once by Aceves. 1-2.
Back-to-back changeups from Aceves to get ahead of Wise. Now 1 ball and 2 strikes. Both times he struck out today have been on fastballs.
Swinging a foul that jars the mask right off Veritek. That rattles him 1-2.
Change up again from Aceves. This time the foul tip, and the mask comes off. Jason Veritek.
Jays have Frank Francisco up in their pen. A lot of run in his last 14 appearances and 14 innings. Just 1 run in his last 17 games. Numbers against the Red Sox have not been very good. 1-2 is high. 2-2. Swinging a foul tip as Wise has struck out for the 3rd time today. 2nd time Aceves has got it.
And the 3rd time he's going down on the fastball. This time Aceves to the outside part of the plate with the fastball to pick up a strikeout.
Four strikeouts for Aceves since coming into this game, and it is a 10 strikeout day for Red Sox pitching. Beckett had 6 through 3 2/3. Now Aceves 4 in the game, and with 1 out here is Mike McCoy. McCoy with a single in the 1st, grounded out in the 3rd, struck out swinging in the 5th. It's the high strike call, and it's 1-1. This has given up just 1 hit since coming in, a single by Adam Lind in the 6th inning. Like a pretty good pitch, but apparently just missed. 2-1. '50th pitch for Aceves. Curveball that misses. Aceves wanted it. Going to find out where it was. 3-1. Has been a couple close ones that he's not gotten.
Yeah, I threw this directly at McCoy. McCoy flinches, and it looked like it picked up the top of the strike zone.
(3-1) pitch is ball 4. So it is the 3rd walk for Aceves, and saying some things to home plate umpire Mark Carlson. Carlson taking exception as he started out a little bit staring out at Aceves. Ball 3, by the way, I think also was a strike going to the Mika pitch zone to the bottom of the strike zone. Didn't get credit for that either. Let's see, ball 3, which was called a ball. 4 could have been a strike 2, and it was not. And then he walks him on the 5th pitch. But a 1-out walk for Mike McCoy, 3rd walk for Aceves, and you see Carlson taking exception. So 1 out, 1 on, and Eric Thames, the batter. There's a throw over to first base. McCoy back to the bag.
Now once again in this 0-0 ball game, I would expect some activity out of this combination. Whether it be a straight out steal, if they get in a hit and run count, a hit and run.
Thames is grounded out and struck out twice. Daniel Bard, who's warming up last inning, back up again for Boston with 1 out in the 8th. Up high, ball 1. Well, don't forget, coming up immediately after the game to stay with us for WB Mason Extra Innings Live. It's all the post-game coverage you'll need right here on NESN. 7 strikes out Wise, but walks McCoy, and now count is 1-0 to Eric Thames. A little wildness here right now for Sevis, who checks on McCoy again. Runner goes. The pitch is a ball. The throw down is going to be not in time. Gets away, backed up by Pedroia. So it is a straight out steal. And it's the 4th steal of the day for the Toronto Blue Jays.
And the 2nd steal of the day for McCoy. Had one back in the 1st inning. Now a very big one here in the 8th inning. Waited till the count was 1-0. Took off for second base. Picks up his 9th steal of the season.
Two 2-0 the count to Thames with 1 out and McCoy at second base. That's a strike. 2-1.
Daniel Bard continues to throw in that Red Sox bullpen. Would they bring him on if Sevis is able to retire? Thames, Batista on deck.
Batista 0 for 5 against Bard in his career. As now Veritek heads out again. Batista also has never had a hit against Sevis. He's 0 for 4 against him. Should make it 0 for 5 now. Get Batista to fly out in the 6th inning. So McCoy at second base, 1 out. Jason Veritek and Alfredo Sevis have talked it over. Now ready with a 2-1 pitch. Thames fouls it off and evens the count at 2-2. Blue Jays have left 5 men on base for the first 7 innings. Bat here in the 8th. Jays 0 for 5 with runners in scoring position. And McCoy at second, 1 down. That one hits Thames. He'll head down to first. Dead ball after the hit batter. And down to first goes Thames. They will send McCoy back to second as Sevis hits him. And here comes Terry Francona. So Daniel Barnaby coming in to face Bautista. Scoreless game with 1 out in the 8th. Begins Monday at 6 a.m. right here on NESN and across the WEEI Sports Radio Network. Scoreless game with 1 out in the bottom of the 8th inning. And Jose Bautista coming up to face Daniel Bard. Bard, the 3rd Red Sox pitcher of the day. His 61st appearance of the year. 2-5 with a 2.15 earned run average. 62 2/3. He's got 64 strikeouts to just 15 walks. Well, it's sitting at 170 against Bard coming in, and comes in with McCoy at second base, Thames at first base, 1 out. Ace Jose Bautista. 40 home runs for Bautista. And again, he is 0 for 5 in his career against Bard. Out of the 5 at bats, strikeouts for Bautista. Bautista pops it up into shallow right. In comes Reddick. He will make the catch. Running towards the line to make the grab, and Bautista is retired for the second out of the 8th.
He got tied up big time by a fastball inside that time from Daniel Bard. Bard coming inside. You can see he cannot get extended. Just kind of pops it up and bloops it toward right field. Josh Reddick charging, calls, and makes the catch.
So big out for Bard. 2 down in the inning. Adam Lynn, the batter. And the walk in the first, struck out in the 4th. Single to right in the 6th inning. Late on the fastball, fouling it back. One for 5 with 3 strikeouts is Adam Lind against Bard in his career. Fredo Aceves leaves after 3 2/3 innings. Responsible for the 2 men on. McCoy at second. Thames at first. And 0-1 to Adam Lind. More planes going overhead here as part of the air show in downtown Toronto. Roof open here at the Rogers Center today. Lind late on the fastball, fouls it off, and it's 1-2. Been aboard twice today, a walk and a single, wrapped around a strikeout in the 4th inning.
I wouldn't be at all surprised to see McCoy try to take off at third base, see if he can throw a bad throw.
Marco Scudero and some other players looking up as the Plains make their way over. The 1-2. Swing and a miss. He struck him out on a pitch down and in. So out of the jam is Bard. We are scoreless from Toronto at the end of 8. A telecast is presented by authority of the Boston Red Sox. It may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. The accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Boston Red Sox. Well, in the 8th inning of the top half, the Red Sox had runners at first and second with 2 down. Kevin Youkilis strikes out looking to end the inning as Jansen gets him, and then it is the Blue Jays who have their own chance with 2 on and 2 outs, and Lynn strikes out to end the inning. Clark getting him on the slider is now into the game is Frank Francisco, the 4th pitcher of the day for the Toronto Blue Jays. Francisco's 47th appearance, 12 out of 16 in save opportunities, as you mentioned. He's not given up a run in his last 14 outings, 14 innings. But Crawford sends one out towards deep left center field, and the run is Wise, and he makes the catch. Oh, what a catch by Dwayne Wise. Long run that appeared to be headed for the gap, but Wise makes the catch.
And we mentioned all day how shallow Wise has been playing out there in center field. This ball looked like it had enough to get by him, but his speed chases it down. Takes extra bases away from Kyle Crawford. Maybe 2, maybe 3. Great play by Wise in center field.
We mentioned that he was a former member of the White Sox, perhaps most known for the leaping grab he made at the wall in Burley's perfect game in Chicago a couple of seasons ago. And Wise, great defensively. He takes out number 1 of this 9th inning and takes a double at least away from Carl Crawford. 1-0 to Reddick. He'll turn on this, send it down the right field line. On the run is Bautista. Can't get it. It's by him. Reddick headed for second, and he'll pull it up there with a 1-out double. Throw goes to second, and Reddick keeps the foot on the bag.
Another strange route taken by Bautista out there in right field. He's had a couple of them today. This ball hung up there a long time, but again, Bautista going sideways and then back. I mean, it's almost misjudging how far the ball is hit. Red Sox have their man in scoring position at second base, and Josh Reddick.
Safe at second, safe and secure. New York Life. So 1 out, Reddick at second base, and Jason Varitek coming up. Varitek struck out in the 3rd inning, grounded out in the 5th, grounded out in the 7th. Papelbon starting to warm in the Red Sox pen. That's in there for strike 1-1. Francisco's given up 1 run his last 17 games and 17 1/3 innings. Gives up a 1-out double, and really the first batter is fortunate was out at all. Great running catch by Dwayne Wise in center field.
Now, without that catch out there, this is a 1-0 ball game right now.
It's up high, ball 2. On the outside corner, Varitek disagrees. It's 2-2. Spins out of the box, takes a stroll.
Always tell when Varitek doesn't agree with the call. He'll just turn around, spin, and walk far away from home plate.
He was 2 for 4 in his career against Frank Francisco. Includes a triple. Francisco bluffing off the backside. Still 2-2. Varitek strikes out. 95 on the fastball. 2 down in the 9th.
Now Francisco just blows the fastball by Varitek for the strikeout. Jason has struck out twice today, once on a changeup back in the 3rd inning, that time the fastball.
2 down, Reddick at second base, and Marco Scutaro coming up. He singled in the 3rd, doubled in the 5th, and grounded out in the 7th. He has had no success against Frank Francisco, 0 for 7 in his career. There's strike 1. Red Sox now 0 for 7 with runners in scoring position in the game. They've stranded 8 base runners through the first 8 innings.
Molina got crossed up on that. He was expecting something off speed and got a fastball from Francisco. He's trying to protect himself any way he possibly could.
I think Molina's banged up. That hurt. Taking some extra time.
Looks like it got him right in the groin area.
Crawford flied out to center. Reddick doubling down the line and right. Veritek with a strikeout, 2 outs, runner at second. 1-1 to Scudero. Just outside, 2-1. Scudero to left field. Thames will move back and make the catch. It ends the top of the 9th inning. We head for the bottom of the 9th with no score from Toronto.
Straining his right ankle as he makes delivery to home plate. Coors Light Freeze Can, brought to you by Frost Brewed Coors Light, the world's most refreshing beer.
It's to the bottom of the 9th inning we go. And Daniel Bard back on the mound for the Red Sox. And gets the final 2 outs of the 8th. Back out there to start the 9th. Edwin Encarnacion to lead it off for the Blue Jays. He's got 1 of 4 Toronto hits. Red Sox out hitting the Jays 7-4 in the game. The Jays have left 7 men on base through the first 8 innings. Slider in there for strike 1. A reminder to stay with us for Granite City Electric's Red Sox final. Complete post-game coverage coming up after the game from our Nesson studios. All 2 strikes to Edwin Encarnacion.
3 straight sliders from Daniel Bard to Encarnacion.
Johnson and Brett Lowry expected to bat in the inning. Fouled off to the right. Fastball this time. Swing and a miss gets him on the slider in the end. Strikes out Encarnacion. Second strikeout for Bard. 1 down in the 9th.
Yeah, both strikeouts for Bard so far this game have come on the slider. Nasty right there. Breaking down and away off the plate.
One out in the 9th inning for Kelly Johnson, who is 1 for 3 today. Singled in the second, sent Senning's flight out to left, popped out to short. fly ball out to deep center field. Back goes Ellsbury to the warning track to make the catch. Johnson gives it a ride, but he's out number 2 of the ninth.
Pretty good charge with that ball by Johnson, but there's still room for Jacoby Ellsbury out there in center field. Gets it before he gets to the warning track.
Bard wasn't entirely sure. And Ellsbury out there to make the catch, 2 down. Brett Laurie, the batter. Reached on a fielder's choice and walked twice. Been on base 3 times today. Outside, ball 2. Four in a row retired by Bard since coming into this game. Jose Molina, the number 8 hitter, waiting on deck. Tap back towards Bard. He'll field and throw. And we're headed for extra frames. 9th time this year. The Red Sox will play bonus baseball. Scoreless from Toronto. By Wendy's. Scoreless as we head to the 10th inning. Frank Francisco back on the mound. Worked the 9th. Back out there for the 10th inning. So the Red Sox going to extra innings for the 9th time this season. Blue Jays have actually played 15 extra inning games on the year. And they're a perfect 8-0 in extra inning games here at the Rogers Center. Jacoby Ellsbury with 2 hits, actually 1 hit in the game. He's 1 for 4. And a double back in the 3rd inning. Red Sox have left 9 men on base through the first 9 innings. That's a strike, 1-1. Another strike, 1-2. Pedroia and Gonzalez anticipated here in the 10th. A scoreless tie from Toronto. Ellsbury grounds it to first base. Lynn will flip to Francisco for the out. 1 down in the 10th. One out, and Dustin Pedroia coming up. Pedroia's flied out to center, grounded out to third twice, and flied out to right. An 0 for 4 day for the Red Sox second baseman. Dustin, a .308 career hitter in extra innings. 39 at bats and has 1 career extra inning home run. So bats here in the 10th with 1 out. On the corner, 1-1. Adrian Gonzalez on deck with 1 out in the 10th. Francisco's longest outing, inning and a third. He's trying to get the second out here in the 10th. He's already gone an inning and a third here today. 1-2. Swing and a miss. Strikes out Pedroia. 0 for 5 today is Dustin. And it is the longest outing of the year now for Francisco, an inning and 2/3.
And basically kept everything away from Pedroia in that at bat. Gets him with a fastball away. A very rare 0 for 5 day for Pedroia, hitting out of that 2 spot.
It is the second strikeout for Francisco. 2 down in the 10th inning. Now for Adrian Gonzalez, who is 1 for 4 today with a double in the 8th. Babelbon up in the pen, as he was last inning, as Gonzalez takes a pitch inside. .339 average right now for Gonzalez with his 1 for 4 day. First time that he's dipped under .340 since mid-June. Extra inning home runs for Gonzalez. Waits on a 1-1 pitch and takes ball 2. One base runner to reach against Frank Francisco since coming in was Reddick, with a double in the 9th inning. Otherwise, he's retired everybody else that he has faced. Ball 3, 3-1. When he came in, he's not allowed to run now in his last 15 appearances, and 15 2/3 innings without giving up a run. David Ortiz waits on deck with 2 outs here in the 10th. Up high, ball 4, and he walks Gonzalez. So Adrian down to first base. 4th walk given up today by Toronto pitching. And up comes David Ortiz. Pinch runner at first base. Mike Aviles should be coming out here to run for Gonzalez. So Adrian comes out of the game here in the 10th. David Ortiz 1 for 3 with an intentional walk in the game. He singled back in the 4th inning. David is 2 for 7 in his career against Frank Francisco.
And Aviles at first base with 14 steals on the season, only caught twice.
Ortiz takes ball 1. Yankees have an 11-9 lead now. In the top of the 9th inning, Jesus Montero with 2 home runs, first major league home runs. Snap throw to first, and Aviles back to the bag. Using Ortiz as a screen to fire down to first.
That's one thing first base coaches always have to remind base runners. Molina loves to throw behind the hitter. Back with the dive is Aviles into first base.
Ortiz grounds with the shift to Laurie, the third baseman in short right, who throws out David and ends the top of the 10th inning. We are scoreless heading to the bottom of the 10th. New newest competitive series, AT&T School Essence College Face-Off. Presented in part by your local Chevy dealers. Watch the ultimate battle of brain power and wits unfold beginning tomorrow night after Red Sox coverage. We head to the bottom of the 10th inning back in the Rogers Center in Toronto. No score as the Red Sox move on to their fourth pitcher, but first some defensive changes. Mike Aviles stays in the game after pinch running for Adrian Gonzalez. He stays at third. Youkilis moves from third to first. And the Red Sox bring into the game Jonathan Papelbon. 56th appearance of the year, 4-0 with a 2.80 earned run average, 29 out of 30 in save opportunities, 72 strikeouts to 8 walks for Papelbon. Opponents hitting at .202 against Papelbon. We have not seen Papelbon yet in September. Last worked on August 31st against the Yankees on a perfect inning with 2 strikeouts on Wednesday night. He's gone 17 scoreless innings over his last 17 appearances. Molina with a swing and a miss for strike 1. Action for Toronto in their pen, Sean Camp. Fouls it off to the right with a fastball. 0-2.
Yeah, back-to-back fastballs to start off Molina from Papelbon, and very quickly gets ahead in the count. 0-2. That time away from Molina.
In tight to Molina, 1-2. He's grounded out, flied out, bounced into a double play. Papelbon takes over for Barr to win an inning in 2/3. No hits, no runs, no walks, 2 strikeouts. And on 9-man, Dwayne Wise waiting on deck, then Mike McCoy here in the 10th. Molina down the right field line, and is bending foul. Outside, 2-2. Papelbon has not had a save since August 18th at Kansas City. 29 saves, ranked 5th in the American League. And here in a tie game, nobody out, bottom of the 10th. Here is a 2-2. And this is chopped to third, and by Aviles into left. Lead runner on for the Jays. Molina hobbling around. He'd likely be coming out of this game anyway for pinch runner, but he does not look like he's running very well anyway. And here comes a pinch runner.
Looked like a split-fingered fastball that time from Papelbon. It gets a top spin and gets by Aviles at third base. So the lead man on here in the 10th inning for the Jays.
Chris Woodward will pinch run. The Red Sox infielder. And Woodward will run here for Molina in the 10th inning. Dwayne Wise coming up. Wise 0 for 3, striking out 3 times. Goes in at third base, anticipating the bunt,
which he should be doing in this situation.
Papelbon and a freeze. And time called by Varitek. Wasn't even the hitter in Wise. Yankees have one. Mariano Rivera gave up 1 run in the 9th, but they hold on to beat the Orioles 11-10 in Yankee Stadium today. Papelbon finally deals, and Wise takes a strike over the inside corner. Top of the order, Mike McCoy waits on deck.
Wise in his career has had 12 sacrifice bunt hits.
None so far this season. I think he went after it. It's a strike, and it's 0-2. Wise with a great catch in the 9th inning on speedy Carl Crawford. Started very shallow in center and then out to the gap area to make this great catch. Would at the very least been a double for Carl Crawford to lead off the 9th inning, but instead it was out number 1. Woodward gets his lead, and the 0-2 pitch to Wise. Still squaring, and he fouls it off. He's out. Strikes out, unable to get it down. Strikes out for the 4th time today.
That's a very, very poor at bat. Dwayne Wise. Angle of the bat not very good at all. That pitch was away. He still tries to bunt it and fouls it back for the strikeout.
One out, one on. Mike McCoy, the batter. Singled back in the 1st inning. He's also walked, been on twice, has 2 stolen bases. This one's thrown away by Papelbon. Headed to second is Woodward. He will turn second and hold there. Woodward's slow getting out of the blocks at first base, but he gets to second base on the errant throw by Papelbon.
Well, just as good as a sacrifice bunt now. There's the pickoff attempt at first base. It's over the left shoulder of Woodward and by Youkilis. Youkilis has to track it down and hold Woodward at second base.
A winning run in scoring position with 1 out in the 10th. And it'll be 10. And the former Kansas City Royal hitting at 189 with 4 home runs and 13 runs batted in. One for 3 against Papelbon in his career. Ian fouls it off. Fastball riding in on him. Ball and a strike now to Tien. 4 for 21 as a pinch hitter. 1 pinch hit home run in his career. And his Blue Jays debut on July 31st. And the 16th Canadian player to play a major league game for the Blue Jays in franchise history. Veritek headed out to talk to Papelbon. Potential winning run at second base, and Chris Woodward 1 out in the 10th inning for the Jays. Pinch hitting Mark Tien for Mike McCoy. And it's outside, ball 2. Been 6 days since Papelbon last worked. Working here in a tie game in the 10th inning. Again, Veritek's headed out.
Veritek and Papelbon cannot get on the same page with Tien at the plate. Papelbon shaking off a number of signs, and Veritek right now wondering, what do you want to throw?
Pinch hitting Mark Tien with a count of 2-1, patiently awaiting another pitch. Foul back on the fastball, and it's now 2-2.
They decide on the fastball away from Tien. 96 that time from Papelbon.
Starter today for the Jays, Henderson Alvarez, went 6 shutout innings. 2-2 pitch to Tien. Tried to hold up and did. Ball 3. Eric Thames waiting on deck. Tien with 1 hit, 10 at bats so far at the Rogers Center with the Blue Jays. 1 hit was a home run. Tian takes ball 4 and heads down to first base. 1-out walk for Tian. There's 2 on with 1 out. Eric Thames coming up. Thames has grounded out, struck out twice, and been hit by a pitch. Thames 0 for 1 with a strikeout in his career against Papelbon. Swing and a miss for strike 1. The Jays have left 7 men on base through the first 9 innings. They have 2 on with 1 out, and Jose Bautista waiting on deck. A very quiet day for Bautista, who has struck out twice and flied out twice. Hoping he gets a chance here in the 10th. Both teams do not have a hit with runners in scoring position, combined to go 0 for 15.
It's been that kind of day, all pitching today.
Swing and a miss, 0-2. Swing and a miss. Papelbon strikes out Thames, and there's 2 down in the 10th. Healthy diet of fastballs for Thames.
Yeah, nothing but fastballs, and above the belt too. Had a very difficult time catching up.
Jose Bautista 1 for 8 in his career against Papelbon. The 1 part was a home run. 2 outs, 2 on. Potential winning run at second base in the 10th. Woodward is that runner. Ball 1.
Bautista was looking inside on that first pitch. He had 1 foot heading toward third base, stepping in the bucket. Almost like he was expecting the fastball in. Watch that left foot.
Two extra inning home runs this season for Bautista. Waiting on a 1-0. It's outside, 2-0. Staying away from Bautista with the first 2. 12th time this season that Papelbon has thrown 20 or more pitches in an inning. Veritek with some equipment repair. Behind the plate, working on that glove. The 2-0 pitch from Papelbon. Bautista fouls it back. Got a fastball 2-0 and fouls it back.
Once again, Papelbon staying away from Bautista.
swing and a miss. Fastball by him, 2-2.
It's challenge time now from Papelbon. Fastball after fastball to Batista.
Potential winning run at second base, and Chris Woodward with 2 outs in the 10th. Papelbon with a 2-2 pitch. Ball 3, full count. Away again.
Runners will be off on the 3-2 count.
Ball 4, he walks him, bases loaded. Winning run 90 feet away now for the Jays. And this will bring out Kurt Young. So everything was away.
Now you could tell in that first pitch that Batista was looking for something in. He had that foot going down that third base line. And everything away in that particular at bat from Batista. Trying to stay away from his power.
First walk allowed by Papelbon since July the 10th. And the winning run now for Toronto, 90 feet away. The 2 outs in the 10th inning, and Adam Lind coming up. Adam Lind today has walked, struck out, singled, and struck out again. He is 3 for 15 in his career against Papelbon, and that includes 7 strikeouts. Strike 1. Fastball again. Woodward 90 feet away with 2 outs in the 10th. Papelbon with the 0-1 pitch. Lind is down 0-2. More heat, 95 miles an hour.
Ever since Molina got the base hit on a split-fingered fastball, it's been nothing but fastballs from Papelbon.
Lind strikes out on 3 pitches, all fastballs, and the Toronto Blue Jays leave them loaded in the 10th. We head for the 11th. Still no score from north of the border. We get a breakdown of Josh Beckett's performance in the series opener. Plus, you'll hear the Sox starters' post-game thoughts, and Heidi will bring you the manager's perspective in Terry's Day. It's all coming up right after the game on WB Mason Extra Innings Live. Jonathan Papelbon with a big strikeout to end last inning. We head for the 11th inning. Some defensive changes for Toronto. Chris Woodward staying in the game now at shortstop. The battery entirely here for the Jays. JP Aronsebi into the game for Toronto. The new pitcher for the Jays is Sean Camp. Right-hander in his 58th game, 2-3 with a 4.63 earned run average. Opponent sitting at 319 against him. as Kevin Youkilis takes ball one. Youkilis is grounded out, flied out, walked, and struck out. Two and 0. To third base. Backing up was Laurie. His throw is in time. And there's one out in the 11th. Back in the fourth inning, Josh Beckett left with a sprained right ankle. The last pitch he threw and had trouble putting weight on it at that point. He comes out of the game. Henderson Alvarez 6 shutout innings today, striking out 4. And was very impressive in his first game against the Red Sox. Casey Jansen striking out Kevin Youkilis in the 8th inning. Red Sox left 2 men on. Then with the bases loaded, winning run 90 feet away, Papelbon strikes out Lind on 3 pitches to end the 10th inning. So chances on both sides in this game. And we play in the 11th with 1 out for Carl Crawford. Crawford grounded out in the 2nd, walked in the 4th. Flied out in the 7th, flied out in the 9th. That's a strike, and it's 2-1.
Well, the Red Sox have gone through Bard. They've gone through Papelbon. Dan Wheeler loosening in the bullpen now for Boston.
Two and 2.
Change up that time. You had Crawford off balance.
Crawford 3 for 8 in his career against Camp, a former teammate. Sean Camp's when he was a member of the Rays. Strike 3. Breaking ball to get Crawford. Camp was down in the count, but he comes back to strike him out. 2 down.
Backdoor slider from Camp that time. After the changeup away, he goes back outside with the slider and brings it back to the corner.
Two down in the 11th, and here's Josh Reddick. Reddick 2 for 4 in the game, singling in the 7th and in the 9th. His return after being hit with a pitch in the hand on Saturday afternoon. He's outside 2-0. Yankees have already won today 11-10 as they outlasted the Orioles. Red Sox starting the day, game and a half back of New York. 3-0. Jason Varitek waiting on deck with 2 outs in the 11th. There's Reddick with a swing on 3-0. Can't get it. 3-1. Foul tip, full count. Camp leads the Blue Jays relievers in appearances with 58. Fouled off Aaron Sebia.
Back inside with the fastball and foul right off the mask of Aaron Sebia. That's after a number of pitches away by Camp.
Fouls it off to the left and stays alive.
Change up again. That's about 3 change ups that he's thrown Reddick. Reddick one-handing it to foul it off.
Popped up. Second baseman Kelly Johnson in short right puts it away. Red Sox down in order in the 11th. Into the bottom of the 11th. No score from Toronto. The sports world, including the latest news out of Foxborough with the Patriots season opener now 1 week away. Plus a full recap from Norton as the Deutsche Bank Championship wraps up today. See how Andrew Ferentz spent his day with the Stanley Cup. It's all coming up tonight at 10 on Nesson Daily. No score as we head to the bottom of the 11th inning. And Dan Wheeler comes on to pitch for the Red Sox. We've seen Beckett, Sevis, Bard, Applebaum, and now Wheeler into his 46th game of the year. 2-1 with a 4.18 earned run average. 38 strikeouts for Wheeler. Opponents hitting at .242. Edwin Encarnacion to lead it off for the Blue Jays in the 11th. Takes ball one away. He singled back in the 4th inning, an infield hit, 1 for 4. Fresh off a terrific August, when she hit .307 in August, 6 home runs, 15 runs batted in August. That's a strike, 1-1. Saturday against Texas, Dan Wheeler giving up 3 runs in an inning and 2/3. Most since he'd given up 3 runs on May 2nd against the Angels. So working the day before yesterday. Curveball in there for strike 2.
Good shot breaking curveball there from Wheeler to get ahead of Encarnacion.
Center field. Ellsbury headed back towards the wall. It'll be Reddick who steps in front. There's Ellsbury tracking it, but Reddick calls him off, makes the grab. The two combine out there in right center. And it is Reddick who makes the catch for the first out of the 11th.
I'm convinced on the swirling wind of this ballpark today has had something to do with these fly balls. Some of them have hit pretty well, but they don't even end up at the warning track. And you see Reddick calling off Jacoby Ellsbury. Still has a couple of steps before he gets to that track.
One down for Kelly Johnson. He is 1 for 4. Blue Jays have 5 hits in the game. Johnson facing Dan Wheeler for the first time in his career. 1-0. Popped up. Shallow center. Scudero out. The shortstop to make the catch. 2 down in the 11th. Red Sox have action in the pen. Franklin Morales.
Number 13.
Comes Brett Laurie with 2 outs in the 11th inning. Laurie's been aboard 3 times, pitching on a fielder's choice, walking twice. Last time up, grounded back to the mound. Foul back to our left.
That's about 3 that have come in our direction today.
A lot more action than we're used to up here. In the end of Lee, our stage manager's laptop, Jerry, it didn't make it, as it turns out.
Is it dead?
Yes.
Destroyed?
It is destroyed.
That's too bad.
is outside. 1-1. In the air to left center field. Hit a ton for Laurie. Back, and it is gone. The Blue Jays walk off with a win in 11 innings. The rookie helps the Blue Jays go 9-0 in extra inning games at home.
Laurie gets a fastball on the inside part of the plate, and he knew it. Tough loss for the Red Sox today.
So a walk-off home run, and Jerry, this is a pretty frustrating day. The Red Sox certainly had their chances in this game.
They did. They had a couple of opportunities, second and third, with 2 outs. They could not come through in those situations. What a well-pitched ball game on both sides today. But the biggest story in this game, Don, the bigger story is Beckett. You know, how long is Beckett going to be out with that ankle? That is a major concern, I think, to the Boston Red Sox.
Final score again, the Blue Jays in 11 beat the Red Sox 1-0. For Jerry Remy and Heidi Watney, I'm Don Orsillo saying good afternoon from the Rogers Center. Join us again tomorrow night for Game 2 of this series. The pitching matchup will be John Lester against Luis Perez. Live coverage begins at 6. This has been a presentation of NESN, New England's most watched sports network. Let's send it now to the NESN Television Center. Here's Tom Caron.